Good day, everyone. This is Victor Ante M. Tolentino, and I am here to present my C program, which is the final PIT for programming and logics and designs. So I have here my source code C program to compute the average of the students based from the progress report and writing into a text file. Then I also type here the header file, which is used for the input and output of the functions, and also here the second header file, which is used for the library of the functions. And also I have typed here the define, which is used for the number of students given for the program. So what is the problem there? The program creates an array of structures and gives the information of the personal information of the students or students' personal information and the grades of the subjects taken by the 5 students. Each student takes only 5 subjects, which are given the results of the subjects. The inputs are the students' personal information and the grades of each subject taken. The computations involved in the function are the sum and the average of the grades. The output displays the students' information details, the total sum of the grades and the average. Then finally, the progress writes and saves all data to a text file and to display the output of the data. So I have here what I have created a array of structures. So I have typed here struct student, which is the structure type declaration, and student is also called as a structure type. So struct student is which is based from the number of students given for the problem, which I had typed here before. Define max students 5, which is used for 5 students. So I have here the personal information here. First is the character function name, composes of 30 characters. The next we have here integer year level, which is resembles the student's year level. Then I have here integer marks 1, integer marks 2, marks 3, integer marks 4, and integer marks 5 as the input grades. Then I have here the integer total, which is the total sum of the grades, and the floating point perk is used for the average of the students. To declare the array of structure variables, I type here struct student std open close square brackets max students, and I also type here the uppercase string. You have here file uppercase word rather. I type here file, then the pointer f, which is resembles the function to write a program into a text file. So I also type here character choice, which is also guide the function to help writing a text file. So I type here the main function. We type here integer main close parentheses, then the open close brackets inside. Uh, then I type here integer I, which is used for the number of students given for the loop function or the loop statements. And I also type here the function for the text file, which is if open close parentheses f is f open, the in open close parentheses with the quotation marks, then the title of the text file. We have here student records, then the letter W, which resembles to write a function, write a program into a text file, then double equal sign, then the uppercase word null, then enclose inside between the brackets I put your puts cannot open file, which is in case if the text file is it has an error, then it exits to the value 1, which is you have to exit the text file. Next, I have here the for loop, which is used to read all student all the 5 student details from the user. So I type here the for loop statement, which is I is equal to 0, that I is lesser than max students colon semicolon each, then the function for the loop, which is the 2 plus signs, then before I. Then I type here the print function given. I type here the student's progress as a title. Then I type here print function enter name, which is used to scan the structure type inside, which is the name, the character name. Then next I type here the print function, open close parentheses, then with quotation marks, enter year level for the second input, and then I type here to scan the input, which is scan F, then %d, which is used for the numeric, which is for the number that represents to this type of code for the number. Then next I type here enter marks, then I type here the print function marks in subject 1, which is used to input the first subject grade. Next I type here print F marks in subject 2, then scan the asterisk STT, open close square bracket I marks 2, which is used for input the second subject grade rather, which is also part of the each structure similar to the first grade, which is STD, asterisk std open close square bracket I dot marks 1. Then next I have here the print function, then mark, then open close parenthesis mark, then a quotation marks, then marks in subject 3. And I also type here scan function for marks 3, which is the asterisk asterisk std and square bracket I, then dot marks 3, which is used to point out the input that the user type for subject 3. Then I also here the print function, which is open close parenthesis and quotation marks, then marks in subject 4. Then I also type scan function for the structure type inside student structure type, which is the asterisk std, then square brackets I, then dot marks for the fourth sub marks 4, which is the fourth subject grade. Then the lastly for the mark subject marks 5, I have typed here print f open close parenthesis as also the I type here the quotation marks, then marks 5, then I type here scan f, then open close bracket, then enclose the %d for constant number, then I put here comma, then asterisk std open close square bracket I dot marks 5. And also I type here the /n, which is help to adjust the the input type, what I have typed here to make sure that to display all of the computations I have typed here is on the left side. Then I also here the calculations for the function for my program, which is the sum std, then open close square bracket I dot total, which is used for the total sum of the grades. So I type here the sum, which is the structure type inside, which is the fragment for the structure type rather, which is std open close square brackets I dot total is equal to the std open close parenthesis the marks 1, then the marks 2, then marks 3, adding marks 4 and marks 5, which means I have here all of the marks from the input are to sum up its summation of grades. Then I also here for the average, which is std open close square brackets I dot perk, which is used for the average. Then I type here std open close parenthesis I dot perk, which is equal to the floating point with open close parenthesis the float. Then I also type here the open close parenthesis also So for the floating point, which is the total of sums here, and I type here also inserted in the total float, open close parenthesis, float, then the fragment for the structure type, which is std open close square brackets I dot total, then divided by the floating point, which is open close parenthesis float 500, so which is also called for fraction form. Then you have to multiply with this symbol for by 100 to get the average for this function. And I also type here scan f, the open close parenthesis, then slash percent c, which is given here. This removes the enter character from the input buffer or the keyboard of the previous input, so which is used to in which is to help make the program function well. So I have to type here, which is in case if okay na ang program, and then I have the output will display the student details, so print all student details. So it's given here the print function, the title, results in progress, also for the students. So I have typed here for the 5 students, you have to type the for loop statement, which is used to display all 5 students in the function to make it easier. Then I type here the name, the year level, marks of 5 subjects, which is the 5 grades of each subject. I mean the grades of per subject rather, which is displays here, and the total sum of the subjects and the percentage of the student. And I also type here for writing a function to a text file. So I type here printf, then /n, and I type saving data to students records .txt file, which is enclosed in open close parentheses and quotation marks. For the printing a function, also to writing a function to a text file, so I type here first here is f, then print function f, which is you have to type f between the print so it may function well for writing. And also in open close parentheses you have to type f first for the text file each, and also including the loop statements, which is also you have to type here the f print f, which is the file print. You have to printing a making a function to writing a output used to display in text file. So I have here, you have to type all the inputs and displays all the inputs and the outputs. Then I type here, then F close to end the function for writing a program. Then I also type here to end the function, which is sketch open close parenthesis. So to execute this function that I have made, so I have to try to run the program. Well, let's test it out. So I have here the students, my own function, my own source code for my C program, which is students progress. So first we have to type here the name. So I do the sample name, which is here. Then I also input the year level of the student. And it comes out. Enter marks, then marks in subject 1. You have to type here the grade of per subject. So I have here type here the sample grade here for the first subject, and the second subject I type another grade. Then for the third subject I type the grade for the third subject. Then I pops out. For the fourth subject I type here the fourth subject grade, and lastly the fifth subject. This happens when for the array of structures you have to type for the structure type which is affected to the run the program. It pops back to student's progress title, then input the enter name or enter the name of the students. So I have here I typed previously before is the first student. Then next I am going to type the second student. So I have here to input the second student here. So I put the student's name, its grade, its year level rather. Then I type here its subject. So I here marks 1, then marks 2, then marks 3, marks 4, then marks 5. Then it pops back to student's progress, so I have to input the third student or student 3. So I have to input a random student name, its year level, then its grades from subject 1 rather up to the fifth subject, which is the fifth grade. Then it pops back again, so I have imported the third student. So next is the fourth student. So I have input the another input for another student, which is the name of the student, which is Sam. Then the year level, then the student's marks. Also I type here the sample grade from subject 1 to subject 5. Then it pops back to student progress. So I have here to input the fifth student. So I have to input the random name of the student, the fifth student rather, enter the year level of the fifth student, then its remarks from subject 1 to 5. Then also it displays the results in progress. Then also it displays the output of the 5 students. So it displays the name, the year level, the 5 marks of every subject, which is the 5 subjects rather, the total of the sum, and its average, which is the percentage. So all of 5 students has its grade, then it pops out, saving data to students records.txt file, which is the text file. So so the tech so the C program is done. So let's check for the students records text file. It loads here. So let's try to see the notepad for a text file. So here's what it displays from the program. So we have here the results in progress given, then the name of the results from the first student, then the second student, next is the third student, and the displays from the fourth student and the fifth student. So all of the 5 students results were displayed in the text file. So that's how my C program works for both of my program and the text file. So that'll be all. Thank you very much.